That bacon sizzling in your pan isn't what you think it is. Pick up a package of supermarket bacon and check the label. You will likely find it has been injected with water, cured with nitrites linked to cancer, and comes from pigs that never saw daylight. The rashes shrinking in your frying pan, leaking milky liquid, are not a cooking failure. They are evidence of an industry that has turned one of Britain's breakfast staples into something barely recognizable as meat. Bacon has been part of British food culture for centuries. Traditionally, it was pork belly or back meat, dry cured with salt, sometimes smoked over wood, and sliced fresh. Simple preservation enhanced flavor while keeping the meat recognizable as what it actually was. Today's supermarket bacon has been transformed by industrial processes designed to maximize profit per pig while minimizing everything that made traditional bacon worth eating. We are about to expose 5 of the most problematic bacon brands widely available in UK supermarkets. These are not obscure products. They are brands sitting in refrigerators across the country right now, eaten by millions of families who trust that bacon labeled British or premium means something. What we found ranges from disturbing ingredient manipulation to outright welfare disasters. By the end of this, you will never look at that shrink-wrapped packet the same way again. Number 5. Matteson's Smoked Bacon. Matteson's has been around since 1905, building brand recognition through longevity rather than quality. Their smoked bacon rashers come pre-cooked and packaged in resealable containers, marketed as convenient for quick meals and sandwiches. The convenience comes at a cost you are probably not aware of. This bacon lists pork, water, salt, stabilizers, E450 and E451, antioxidant, E301, and preservative E250. Notice water is the second ingredient. This is not residual moisture from curing. This is water deliberately injected into the meat to increase weight. Those stabilizers, diphosphates and triphosphates, are there specifically to prevent that injected water from leaking back out. When you buy Matteson's bacon, you are paying meat prices for chemically retained water. The company profits by selling you less pork and more liquid held in place by phosphates. Cook this bacon and watch it shrink dramatically as the water content evaporates, leaving you with far less actual meat than the raw weight suggested. The preservative E250 is sodium nitrite, used to maintain that pink color consumers expect in cured meat. Without it, bacon would be gray-brown, which people find unappetizing despite that being the natural color of cooked pork. But sodium nitrite converts to nitrosamines during cooking, especially at high temperatures like frying. Nitrosamines are classified as probable carcinogens, with the World Health Organization explicitly linking processed meats containing nitrites to increased cancer risk. Matteson's pre-cooked bacon has been heated once during manufacturing, then you heat it again when eating. This double heating process increases nitrosamine formation compared to bacon cooked only once from raw. You are getting a higher concentration of these problematic compounds with every supposedly convenient rasher. What really bothers us about Matteson's is the cynical targeting of time-poor families. This product is marketed at parents rushing to make school lunches, people wanting quick protein for breakfast, anyone prioritizing convenience. The company knows these customers will not scrutinize labels or question why bacon needs stabilizers and why it has been pre-cooked. They are exploiting busy lives to sell an inferior product at premium prices. The packaging also creates enormous waste. Each individual serving is sealed in plastic, then packaged in more plastic, all to maintain freshness for a product that has been so heavily processed and preserved, it barely needs refrigeration. You are paying for multiple layers of packaging to protect bacon that is already cooked and chemically preserved into near indestructibility. Number 4. Tesco. Finest Outdoor. Bread dry cure, unsmoked back bacon. Now we are getting into products where people genuinely believe they are making ethical, quality choices. Tesco Finest is positioned as premium. The outdoor bread label suggests better animal welfare. That term is deliberately misleading. It means the pigs were born outdoors and spent the early weeks of life outside, but were then moved indoors for the majority of their existence before slaughter. They are not free-range, and they are not outdoor reared. Most of their lives are spent in intensive indoor housing after a brief outdoor period that qualifies Tesco to use that welfare washing label. The dry cure designation is similarly deceptive. Traditional dry curing means rubbing meat with salt and allowing time for osmosis to draw out moisture while the salt penetrates and preserves. Industrial dry cure still involves injecting brine, but uses less water than standard bacon. It is dry only by comparison to the most waterlogged products, not by traditional standards. This bacon contains pork, salt, sugar, antioxidant sodium ascorbate, and preservative sodium nitrite. The ingredient list is shorter than Matteson's, which is positive. But the welfare claims deserve scrutiny. Multiple investigations by animal rights organizations have documented conditions at farms supplying Tesco with pork marketed under welfare-friendly labels. In 2020, footage emerged from a supplier for outdoor bread showing the indoor facilities where pigs spend most of their lives after that brief outdoor period. The footage showed overcrowded pens, slatted concrete floors, poor air quality, and sick animals not receiving proper veterinary care. The outdoor breeding stage that qualifies the pork for that premium label represents a tiny fraction of these animals' lives. Tesco marketing shows pastoral imagery, happy pigs in fields, sunshine and space. The reality for most of these pigs is months in industrial sheds. The outdoor breeding claim is technically accurate, but it is fundamentally misleading about the animal's actual living conditions. You are paying premium prices for marginally better welfare than standard intensive farming, wrapped in marketing that suggests something far more humane. The sugar content also deserves mention. Why does bacon need added sugar? It is there to balance the saltiness and to enhance browning during cooking through caramelization. But sugar is unnecessary in traditional bacon and represents another ingredient added purely to manipulate flavor rather than for preservation or quality. If you find this investigation useful, subscribing would help us continue exposing what is actually in the food millions of British families eat every day. We are digging deep into products that seem trustworthy based on labeling and branding, and finding the reality is far different. Number 3. Danepak Bacon Medallions. These represent a category of bacon products that have been so heavily processed they barely resemble traditional bacon anymore. Danepak Bacon Medallions are pre-formed, pre-cooked rounds of bacon-like meat, marketed as convenient for cooking and supposedly less fatty than standard bacon. The processing required to create these medallions is extensive. Pork is mechanically separated, emulsified with water and stabilizers, formed into perfectly round shapes using molds, pre-cooked and then packaged. You are not buying bacon. You are buying a reconstructed pork product shaped to look like something it is not. The ingredient list reflects this processing: pork, water, potato starch, salt, stabilizers, E450 and E451, antioxidant E301, preservative E250, and smoke flavoring. Notice smoke flavoring rather than actual smoking. These are not smoked. They are treated with liquid smoke, a chemical flavoring that mimics smoke taste without the actual process of exposing meat to wood smoke. The potato starch serves as a binder, holding the emulsified pork together in those uniform medallion shapes. Real bacon does not need binders because it is intact muscle tissue. The fact that these medallions require starch to maintain structural integrity tells you how far from traditional bacon you have traveled. Danepak is owned by Tulip, a Danish company that is part of Danish Crown, one of Europe's largest pork producers. Danish Crown has been repeatedly criticized for animal welfare standards in its supply chain. Investigations have documented overcrowded facilities, high piglet mortality rates, and routine tail docking and tooth clipping without pain relief. The company's scale is staggering. They process over 18 million pigs annually. At that volume, individual animal welfare becomes statistically irrelevant. Pigs are units of production, managed for maximum efficiency rather than well-being. The bacon medallions you are eating come from a system designed to process as many animals as cheaply as possible. What is particularly insidious about these medallions is how they have normalized heavily processed meat. A generation of children is growing up thinking bacon comes in perfect, uniform rounds, all identical in size and shape. They are losing connection to what meat actually is, where it comes from, and what real bacon looks like and tastes like. Number 2. Asda. Extra Special. Outdoor Bread Dry Cure. Smoked Streaky Bacon. Asda's premium bacon line is layered with welfare claims and quality signaling, but the reality behind those labels is considerably darker. Like Tesco, Asda uses outdoor bread to suggest better animal welfare, while the term legally means something far less meaningful than consumers imagine. This bacon contains pork, salt, sugar, preservatives including sodium nitrite and potassium nitrate, and the antioxidant sodium ascorbate. The use of both sodium nitrite and potassium nitrate is notable. Potassium nitrate, also known as saltpeter, is a traditional curing agent that slowly converts to nitrite during the curing process. Using both provides immediate nitrite effects and longer-term preservation. But let us talk about Asda's supply chain. In 2021, a major investigation exposed serious welfare issues at farms supplying Asda with pork marketed under their premium and welfare-friendly labels. Hidden cameras documented pigs with untreated injuries, severe overcrowding, and conditions that violated even minimal legal standards. Dead piglets left in pens with living sows. Sick pigs unable to stand, receiving no veterinary intervention. Injured animals with wounds clearly days or weeks old, never treated. Tail biting, a stress behavior indicating poor welfare, was widespread. These were not isolated incidents at one rogue farm. Multiple suppliers across Asda's network showed similar patterns. Asda responded with standard corporate language about taking allegations seriously and working with suppliers to improve standards. They continued sourcing from the same farms after minimal changes. The investigation revealed that Asda's audit system was largely performative, with announced inspections that allowed farms to prepare and surface-level checks that missed ongoing problems. The premium pricing on this bacon is not going toward better welfare. It is going toward marketing and Asda's profit margins. The extra special branding, the welfare washing labels, the packaging with countryside imagery, all of it is designed to make you feel good about a purchase while obscuring the reality of how these pigs actually lived. The smoking process used by Asda's suppliers is also worth examining. Traditional smoking involves hanging bacon in a smokehouse for days, exposing it to wood smoke that both flavors and preserves. Industrial smoking is done in hours using temperature-controlled chambers and precisely calibrated smoke from specific wood types. It is more about efficiency and consistency than traditional craft. Some batches are also smoke-painted, a process where liquid smoke is applied to the surface after cooking rather than genuine smoking. This is technically legal as long as the product is labeled as having smoke flavoring rather than being naturally smoked, but the labeling is often ambiguous enough that consumers cannot distinguish between the two methods. Number 1. The worst bacon brand available in UK supermarkets is Heck Chicken Bacon. Yes, you read that correctly. Bacon made from chicken. This product represents the absolute nadir of bacon fraud, a triumph of marketing deception over any pretense of honesty. Heck positions this as chicken bacon for people who do not eat pork, presenting it as a healthier alternative to traditional bacon while charging premium prices. Let's be clear about what this product actually is. It is not bacon. Bacon, by definition, is cured pork. This is processed chicken breast meat, sliced thin, seasoned with bacon flavorings, and sold as bacon to people who either cannot or will not eat pork. The entire concept is built on dishonesty. The ingredients reveal the extent of processing required to make chicken taste like bacon: chicken breast, water, salt, dextrose, natural flavorings, antioxidant sodium ascorbate, and preservative sodium nitrite. Notice natural flavorings doing the heavy lifting of making chicken taste like smoked pork. These are complex chemical compounds extracted from natural sources, concentrated and applied to create a bacon-like flavor. Sodium nitrite preserves color and provides that cured meat taste, but it is particularly problematic in chicken bacon. Poultry naturally has different fat composition and protein structure than pork. Applying curing processes designed for pork to chicken creates different chemical reactions, potentially forming different nitrosamine compounds when cooked at high temperatures. What really makes Heck chicken bacon the worst is the fundamental dishonesty. They are not selling chicken as a distinct product with its own identity. They are selling chicken disguised as bacon, exploiting consumers' positive associations with bacon to move a product that shares nothing but vague flavor similarities. The company knows that calling it chicken rashers or chicken strips would not have the same appeal. Bacon is loaded with positive cultural associations in the UK. Breakfast, comfort food, indulgence, tradition. By attaching that word to processed chicken, they are hijacking those associations for a completely different product. The market for this exists because people who avoid pork for religious, dietary, or health reasons still want that bacon experience. Heck is exploiting that desire rather than offering honest alternatives. Turkey bacon at least uses red meat from large birds with some similarity to pork. Chicken bacon is stretching the concept beyond any reasonable definition. The health claims around this product are dubious. Yes, chicken breast is leaner than pork belly, but by the time you have processed it with water, dextrose, flavorings, and preservatives and cooked it to develop those bacon-like flavors, you are not eating lean chicken breast anymore. You are eating processed poultry product with sodium content comparable to real bacon and an ingredient list that would never appear in traditional protein sources. Heck's entire brand positioning is built on being supposedly better than standard processed meat. They market themselves as a more wholesome alternative, family-friendly, using British meat. But chicken bacon epitomizes everything wrong with modern food marketing. Taking one product, heavily processing it to mimic another product, and selling the imitation at premium prices while claiming it is somehow healthier or better. 5 bacon brands, 5 different ways the industry has corrupted what should be a simple product. From water injection and welfare fraud to chemical processing and outright category deception, these products represent an industry that has lost any connection to traditional food production. Real bacon is pork belly or back meat, salt-cured, sometimes smoked, sliced and cooked. The bacon in most UK supermarkets is injected with water, stabilized with phosphates, preserved with nitrites, and comes from pigs raised in conditions that would horrify most people if they actually saw them. The companies selling this bacon are counting on several things. They are counting on you not reading labels beyond the welfare washing terms on the front of the package. They are counting on you not understanding what outdoor bread actually means legally versus what it suggests emotionally. They are counting on convenience and price to override concerns about quality or animal welfare. But you are not powerless here. You can find bacon from butchers who will tell you exactly which farm the pork came from and how those pigs were raised. You can choose products with minimal ingredients and no added water. You can support farmers giving pigs decent lives with outdoor access and proper welfare standards. Or you can accept that real bacon costs more because it contains actual meat from animals raised with basic dignity. This is not about perfection or purity. It is about refusing to accept that water-injected pork from suffering animals is normal or acceptable. It is about demanding honesty from companies that have been lying through labels and marketing for decades. The bacon aisle does not have to be a minefield of deception and compromised welfare, but it will remain that way until enough people stop buying the cheapest, most convenient option and start questioning what they are actually putting on their breakfast plates. If this changed how you will look at bacon from now on, subscribing would really help us reach more people who need to see behind these labels. We are investigating everyday products that millions buy without questioning, and the reality is often disturbing. Let us know in the comments which bacon brands you are avoiding now and whether you have found better alternatives worth recommending.